Hello everybody, it is a cold and frosty morning and my name is Harry Jacobs and I am the North of 60 Gamer and welcome to the table. Today we are starting our adventure and role-playing adventures, starting with Adventure 1, which is the Battle of Black Lake. So today we are starting our adventures at the Battle of Black Lake. And you can see the board is all set up behind me. So the first thing we're going to do is look at our backstories. So let's get down to the table and start playing. So you can see here that we're holding our Backstory Codex. This is Naphras, and she is the goddess. So I'm just going to read you a little of the preamble here. I am not going to read the actual backstories. I will flash them up. And the way we're going to run some of these narratives, except for a few maybe, is that I'm going to put them up. I'm going to put a pause in for about 5 seconds, which will take enough time for you to get over, hit the pause button if you want to read some of the narrative. So that is how I'm going to handle it. If you want to stop and you want to read the spoilers, please do. I will encourage you. This has been already done a couple of times out there. This is just my take on it. And I want to be a bit more on the rules side rather than the play side. So I'm not going to emphasize the play. So for you, this is going to be a little shorter. For me, it's going to be a little longer because what's going to happen is I'm going to pause. I'm going to read the stuff because I'm playing, so I have to read it. And then I'm going to make it. Then we're going to come back at the decision point. And that's how we're going to handle this. So we can try to keep these videos down to 20 or 30 minutes. I suspect this is going to take maybe 2-3 videos to get through the first adventure. I want to keep it down to about 90 minutes. I've seen the others. They're closer to 2 hours, the solo playthrough that's out there. So so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to index it really, really well. So if you want to see a specific thing like combat or how some other things, mechanics work, we're going to stress that in this video. So without any further ado, and somebody already told me some other words that I could use, so we're going to try to substitute that in. But so far I like that because it just becomes a running joke. So anyway, the Backstory Codex. Okay. So you can see me, I'm getting ready to read this. Overview. Naphras, the snake-faced goddess of judgment, rules over the realms of dream and memory. She observes all souls in the planar verse to discover the true nature and reward them accordingly. But Naphras is not the goddess of retribution. She does not bring order to the lawless or punishment to the wicked. Instead, the scale-faced one assesses mortal hearts and empowers their owners with appropriate gifts. So you might have seen that I put the narrative up so you can read along. The backstory content, this is how you judge your character. And as we saw yesterday, or the last time we did this, we are a celestial and chosen one. So I went over to page 65 in the Codex. And we'll just plop that open. Here we are. You can see it, and the chosen one's in here too on page 72. And I took a picture of this, so I'm not going to read it to you. This is the celestial. Down here, it tells us to add in down here into our area of adventure and location. And you can see, if I bring this up, that we match just about every adventure. 2, 2, 4, 4, 7, 7, 9, 10. Location DCF when revealed. B, D, A, A, F. A for 9, 10 is F. And you can see the little cube here. So that is how it works. In a nutshell, I am a celestial being. I was discovered with a mark on my head in the village. The village sent me off to the temple where they raised me to become holier than thou, I guess. And that is my story. You can read it for yourself. Again, I'm going to put that pause in, put these up. You can put me on pause. The breaks are only going to be about 4 to 5 seconds long. And you can put me on pause and read it if you want. Or you can just skip ahead to this story. And so we're ready to go here. And that is how we set up the backstory. So here we are. This is the Battle of Black Lake by James Ryan. And I'm going to set up the context to this Act 1 story. So let's I'm going to read the narrative here in this case for you. Adventure 1, Battle at Black Lake. Adventure 1, Battle at Black Lake. After 1,000 years of peace, Dragul armies raided from the north, prompting you and every loyal citizen of Nalos to sign up as a soldier of the King's Guard. You have fought long and hard against the North's monstrous generals and their minions. Now, under the command of General Grick, the Dragul armies have been routed from Nalos. But an ogre and his minions still hold camp nearby. Their outpost protects a secret coveted by King Tehran. Your mission is to beast the minions, defeat the ogre, and seize whatever treasures within. To support your efforts, the king has sent Tarek Nerlin, a roguish halfling and Tehran's personal agent, to meet you by the shores of Black Lake. You soon suspect that Tarek knows more of this outpost's secret than he leads you to believe. And that is the opening narrative for the Battle of Black Lake. Now, at this point, I am going to start the adventure. The adventure is going to begin, so I am going to put that up for you, and then I'm going to make a decision at this point. So, let's do that. So I'm at the first decision point. Hopefully, if you read through this and understand what that decision is, when you see a little question mark here, that means that it's an option. So I have two options here. I can side with General Grick and learn more about the Dragul plans, or side with Commander Zalek and investigate threats to the capital. I think I'd like to start with Commander Zalek and investigate threats to the capital. So you can see down here it says Begin 2. Before we get any further, I just want to wish my American friends and family happy Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And for you, I have this special treat. I do not know what it's going to taste like. Maybe on Thursday, I'm going to videotape me taking a sip of this. We are unsure what this really tastes like. This is Jones Soda, which is a very famous brand up here in Canada, and it is turkey and gravy flavor. This is not a paid advertisement. So in between dog emergencies, I am starting to read the Begin, and we'll put this up. This is Begin 2, so this is going to tell us everything we need to do to get us to start the adventure. You point to the coin, and General Gark pats you on the back with pity. Well, good luck to you. He collects the vial of elixir and exits the tent. So we're going to record a keyword. So what I'm going to do is, normally we would just write on here, but because it's over there and I don't want to move it back and forth, I'm actually going to use a little post-it notes, and I'm going to write the keyword Zalek in. And you can see, and I'm going to put this up, of course, every time there's a triangle, and we talked about that, that is an action to be done in order. So we're going to write the word Zalek. And keywords will be used through the adventure, and I'm just going to put that over here for keywords. Next, we're going to Grick wouldn't hear my counsel, says Commander Zalek, and won't hear yours either, but I'm glad to know I have your trust. As your mission, leave now and travel due east until you reach a small enemy encampment. A special operative of King Tehran will meet you there. Commander Zalek rolls up the map. You can keep the coin. Again, gain 1 coin. Woohoo! We're up to 8 coins. We're gonna be able to spend on something. You make haste under a crescent moon, crossing burns and abandoned farmland in open prairie. At the top of the bluff, you look at the dark lake to the wooden outpost. Place your party marker at location A. Now you can see there is a blue cube here, or probably you can't see that there's a blue cube here. So just zooming in, you can see I have come to a border prairie. You can see a blue experience marker. So when I get to the blue experience marker, I will pick it up and I will put it on my sheet. Experience is used for a number of things, mainly for resting. I should say, there are a couple of options here. One, you have to have them for resting for resting, and we'll get to that rule. Basically, for every experience, you're going to grab a dice and reduce your fatigue. If your fatigue ever goes over 16, you're exhausted and you'll have to camp or rest. And if you don't have a experience cube, you're not going to rest. So it's very important to have experience. At this point, we have a choice. Place your party marker at location A. Read A. Oh, there's A. So I'm going to take a picture of it, and then we'll see how much we'll read and just how much we're just going to go over. So in the book, we have got to location A, the Borden Prairie. So when you have your basic rules, and then they introduce rules as you go along here as well. If you've played Dragonholt, that is how Dragonholt works. You build upon each adventure, adding more and more rules and a little bit more of everything. So this is how it's going to work. So the first thing we're going to do, if there was an experience there, if you have no experience there, then just go to the objective, is collect the location at this location and continue reading. So we've already collected the experience, as you can see here, so we don't have to do much more here. Then there is a narrative. Then we're going to come up here and talk about discovery cards. So discovery cards are things that you're going to discover in the different areas along the map, and they will help you. I hope they help you. And it says reveal and discover card 65. Now you have to be very, very careful. You can see at the very top it says stop. This is the discovery deck. Do not shuffle. And then we're going to go through here and look for number 65, 64, 65. There we go. So what are we going to discover? Dun, dun, dun. We discover a bluestone fireball. Just a note that when I'm sleeving the monster cards and the minion cards, as well as the reference cards, they are 80 by 120 millimeter. They are the Dixit size game sleeves. So just to let you know, most of the sleeves are just general magic size sleeve or standard size, which is 2.5 by 3.5. Or 63.5 by 88.5 or 89 or 64 by 89, depending on the manufacturer. So hopefully that will help you sleeve, as well as yellows, which is, I think, the small mini Euro. Hopefully that will help you be able to sleeve your cards. So now we've pulled out the discovery card, which is number 65, of course, the Bluestone Fireball. Items can be used at locations. When using an item, each player may place a stamina in their fatigue box with the supply equal to the cost listed on the card. So this one will cost us 1 stamina, and you can see that right there. At this point, we can use an item or move to another location, and then we're going to resolve encounters. So at this point in time, we would pull out our encounter book. In a multiplayer game, the player on the right, so we're not playing a multiplayer game. This is all up there for you to read. You can pause it at any time. I'm going to have it over either above me or below me, and we're going to move through the sections together as I've worked through this. So let's decide, what do we want to do? Do we want to use an item or move to another location? So at this point, let's look at, I didn't sense any danger that we got to throw this anywhere at this point. But so let's move to another location. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to take our marker and decide whether we want to move to this location or this location, either the Knoll Camp or the Goblin Camp, or towards the Knoll Camp and the Goblin Camp right here. These are the encounter markers. So we have to decide which way we want to go. Do we want to go to this encounter or this encounter? I don't know. I guess I don't know the game, and we're playing along together here. So let's go towards the Goblin Camp. I don't like goblins very much. And so we're going to go over to the first encounter. Now, when you get an encounter, what's going to happen is we're going to come over here to the Tome of Encounters. And then we're going to find out the... we're going to turn to whatever adventure it is, and it'll be either adventure 1, 2, or 1, 5. So one of these two right here. But at this point in time, I think we have about 15 to 20 minutes worth of video. So we've gone over just the start of the game, a little bit about gaining experience. We gained a coin. We've learned a little bit about the adventure. We've got our backstory filled out. We've done our first discovery card. We've learned about movement and keywords. At this point in time, I'm going to stop. We're going to edit this. We're going to put this up on the internet for you to watch. Now, please, I ask you to see how this works for you, because I'm interested in this as an experiment of this using, flashing up these and working through it together and working together as me and my friends out here on the internet. And we're going to just turn this over. So we will be doing encounter 2. So this is going to be serialized, basically, as we learn the rules and we move through the game. So, and I'm going to index a lot of this so that you can really see where we're going, and that way you can skip things if you want, or jump ahead to specific bits. But we are ready in our next video to do our first encounter. But right now we have begun the game. So as always, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. Subscribe. That is how you show me a little appreciation for what I'm doing here. This takes time, and I will tell you that even a small video can take about an hour and a half to edit, where it took me about an hour to videotape. So this is a couple hours effort, and I don't get paid for this. I don't ask for money. Keith did not pay me to do this, though it'd be nice. Keith, if you're watching, we'll talk. Anyway, folks, that is it for me. I have things to do. I have a full-time job, as you know, so I'm going to go off to have a coffee, play with my dogs. I may play a little Diablo 2 in the morning, and that is it for this video. So for now, I will see you probably tomorrow morning. I'm going to put this out today. Today is Tuesday, November 23rd, I believe. So hopefully we're going to get another bit of video out tomorrow. So this is part 4. So the adventure